Hey everyone, welcome back. We're continuing our reading of this awesome book, The Sword of Allah. It has been action-packed, reads like a movie. I must say, it's quite intriguing. We nerd out on all the battle strategies, gives plenty of maps for us to nerd out on. Let's continue our deep review of it and overall analysis and commentary. Alright, if you have your copy, we were on page 143. At Zukisa, Abu Bakr organized the army of Islam into several corps to deal with the various enemies who occupied the entire land of Arabia, except for the small area in the possession of the Muslims. Okay, so scale here. Apparently there's still lots of contingents out there who are combative. So at Zukisa, Abu Bakr is laying it down. Remember though, Usama is now not in control, and his army is now under the Caliph. So, just a reminder. This was the first time that the Muslim army was organized into separate corps, each with its own commander, for independent missions under the general strategically guidance of the Caliph. Okay, look at that. So they're gonna get divided up now. Let's see how they do. Muslim commanders until now, essentially tacticians, would henceforth enter the higher realms of strategy and master those realms with a surefootness and ease that would astonish the world. So this is cool because this is the first time of the separate corps, right? And in the other book I was reading on the Plantagenets, they got into a segment of different warring times with the Plantagenets, and I thought that was pretty cool because they went into about the Third Crusade time period where the Muslims and Christians were fighting. And they had a lot of different battles going on, so I thought it was interesting to read. Here, it's even double cool because now we're noticing that the first time they separated into different corps was under the command of Abu Bakr. So that's pretty cool. See how like history just all connects? At Zukisa, in the 4th week of August the 32nd, early Jamadi al-Akhir 11 al-Hijri, Abu Bakr planned the strategy, the campaign of the apostasy. Okay, so here we go. Campaign of the apostasy. Lots of campaigns in history have a title name, so we know this one. And then what's cool is he gives us both the lunar and solar date calendar for it, the date. The battles which he had fought recently against the apostate concentrations at Zukisa and Abrak. Okay, Zukisa and Abrak were in the nature of the immediate action to save Medina and discourage further offensive by the enemy, thus gaining time for the perpetration and launching of his main forces. Okay, so he's doing a preemptive strike then apparently, and he's doing it in order to save Medina and really signal to any other army who might go on the offensive that, hey, we are doing what we have to do. So Abrak and Zukisa is the point of focus. These actions could be described as spoiling attacks. They enabled Abu Bakr to secure a base from which he could fight the major campaign that lay ahead. Okay, so we're gonna secure a base. Abu Bakr had no illusions about the task that faced him. He had to fight not one but several enemies. Tulayha, the impostor at Buzhaka. Okay, cool, here we go, we got another title here. So that name is actually spelled Tuleiha. Tuleiha the Imposter. That's kind of a cool name. Malik bin Nuwaiya at Buta. Okay, another one. Malik. A lot of people were named Malik back then. Muslima the Liar at Yamama. Dang, imagine. So his nickname is the Liar. He had to deal with widespread apostasy on the eastern and southern coasts of Arabia, in Bahrain, in Oman, in Mahra, and Hazamaut, in the Yemen. Wow, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 places specifically. Dang. There was apostasy in the region south and east of Mecca, and in northern Arabia. The Kuza had staged a comeback after the return of the army of Usama. Okay, so they're still going at it. So they didn't learn their lesson. They just want to wake up and do it again. The situation of the Muslims can be compared with the same small island of belief in an ocean of disbelief. a lamp shining in that small darkness, which held every manner of danger for the faithful. Well, that's a poetic way to put it. So they're there and surrounded by enemies because, wow. Yeah, like they said, the entire land of Arabia, he cited, remember? And the Muslims only have possession of a small area of that. So, smart then, I guess, to break it up into the separate corps. Alright, let's see. In numerical strength, the apostates vastly outnumbered the Muslims, though they were not united. Abu Bakr's military strength lay in his having among the Muslims the finest fighting men of the time, and he had a tremendous weapon, Khalid bin al-Waleed, the sword of Allah. Hey, there we go. Yes, there we go. So they're learning, separating contingents, and he's got some good warriors. So you had to be good to be able to fight in that kind of heat. Can you imagine the stamina? Abu Bakr planned his strategy accordingly. He formed the army into several corps. The strongest corps, and this was the main punch of the Muslims, was the corps of Khalid. Okay, let's see what's unique about his. This was used to fight the most powerful of the rebel forces, to crack the toughest nuts. Other corps were given areas of secondary importance in which to bring the less dangerous apostate tribes to their senses. Okay, so he's gonna get the frontal one then, apparently. After the main enemy opposition was crushed, 2 corps were kept as reserves to reinforce the corps of Khalid or any other corps that might need assistance. Okay, so 2 reserves. Alright. The first corps to go into action was that of Khalid, and timing of the dispatch of other corps hinged on the operations of Khalid. Okay, so he's really the center focus then. So he's the one taking on the most heavy hitters. The reinforcements will be placed there in case his operations go sour. Who was given the task of fighting the strongest enemy forces, one after the other, tiring one after the other. Abu Bakr's plans first to clear the area of West Central Arabia, the area nearest Medina, then tackle Malik bin Nuria, and finally concentrate against the most dangerous enemy of the lot, Musaylima, the liar. Okay, so why is he the most dangerous? I wonder why. Concentrate alright on them. Thus, Abu Bakr would achieve concentration of force by dealing with the main enemy's armies separately, and in turn progressing step by step from the near to the farther regions. Aha, okay. Because they're in, wow, so West Central Arabia near Medina. So he's breaking them up and then trying to go around them, it seems. Because separately in turn. Okay, it's 2 spare corps. Sounds intense. Here we go. The Caliph formed 11 corps, each under its own commander. A standard was given to each corps. The standard. The available manpower was distributed among these corps, while some commanders were given immediate missions. Others were given missions for which they would be launched later. Okay, to wait. Makes sense. So immediate and deferred. So different types of strategy going on. The commanders were also instructed to pick up brave men on the way as they marched to their objectives. That's cool. So if you see anybody there, you try to convince them to join the cause. Would you look at that? The 11 corps commanders and their assigned objectives were as follows. 1. Khalid, first Tulayha at Buskha, then Malik bin Naria at Buta. Alright, so he's got those 2 people. Second, Ikrama bin Abi Jahal, contact Muslimina at Yamama, but not to get involved until more forces were built up. Aha, don't bust the line until it's absolutely essential. That's interesting. Very cool. I wonder if he's going to name all of the people, the commanders of those 11 contingents there. Sukisa and Abrak. Cool, fam. Oh, that's great.